Welcome back to Weekend Tabletop Warrior. Today we are going to start going through the Getting Acclimated guide for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. So we're going to take a look at the first scenario and kind of walk you guys through how movement's going to work in this game. So what I've done is I've set up the board kind of as they've asked in this scenario. So if you take a look here, you'll see that this tutorial is all about moving through the wasteland using the colored sticks that kind of show you how far you can move during your turn. It gives us some instructions here. This is actually really well done the way they did this, because they actually use the colored sticks to show you how far away things should be from each other. These green areas here are things that Nora, our lone survivor, cannot touch, so she has to navigate around them using these rules. There's also a crate up here, a toolbox that contains a 10mm pistol, and the exit. So this is a very, very super simple scenario where you have to learn how to walk through this area using the movement rules, get the 10mm pistol, and then get to the exit. So let's get started. So if we start looking at our Sole Survivor's card here, we're really just looking at this top section here with the yellow movement symbol, and the red movement symbol we won't really be looking at. That's her charge movement. We're not really attacking anybody in this scenario, so we're just going to use her base movement, which is yellow in this scenario. Everything else on her card we'll get to in a later scenario, but this time around we're just worried about movement. I'm going to put the card back down here. Now here she is on the board, and she has to move around the map, as I said. Ignore everything north of these terrain markers here. These are the swamps that she cannot touch. Here's the crate that we need to get to, and then to the exit. So if I wanted to move our lone survivor, the way I would do this is I would take my yellow movement stick, because again that's her base movement on her card. I will place the movement stick flush with her base, and then I'll move her so it's touching the back of her base. There. So that was one movement. Now if I wanted to continue moving in this way, I would just move her across the map here, end to end, being careful not to overlap the terrain. That's the one thing I don't want to do in this scenario. Now when you get to about here, you're going to see her movement stick is actually longer than what you need to get to the toolbox. So what you actually can do is you don't have to move the full movement on your turn. I mean, this is pretty basic, pretty simple. It's just something worth noting because the measuring rules in this game are so different than what we've seen maybe in some other war games. But you can move up to here, let's say, and then let's search that box. Now we know based on the scenario that that box gives us the 10mm pistol, which we'll go over in the next scenario on how to use that. So now that we have that though, we can put that with her card. So now we know she has that weapon. Can remove this from the table and continue her along to the exit. So we can move her down this way, and then up towards where we want to move her there to the exit. So that was our first look at the Getting Acclimated guide playthrough. That was the actual play of Tutorial 1, Navigating the Wastes. Very simple movement rules there. Our next video will cover the second tutorial, which is the shooting range, and we will go over more on how to target things and shoot at them with ranged weapons. But until then, this has been Weekend Tabletop Warrior, and I will see you guys next time.